The Dead
Excellent.
Wings are back, ladies and gentlemen. After dominating the 90s with cups, and even up until 2008 with a cup, they now sit at the bottom of the league. And who knows what the heck will happen now. I don't know what to say. They're just a
Well,
garbage team, let's be honest.
we mentioned in our previous videos, about the Central Division that we were going to give Detroit their own video,
Yep.
and we were planning to do it at the end of the season.
I mean,
But
it's over. It's over. We know it's
the
over.
season's not officially over, but with what everybody's saying, with Bettman basically saying he's going to mirror what the NBA does, at least for the regular season, with Eric Carlson saying, I highlight out the season. Or sorry, Drew Doughty saying, I doubt that the season's going to continue.
Uh-huh.
Regular season's going to happen. At this point, we've had a discussion, and we decided now is as good a time as ever to just say, the season's done. Season's done. We got to do it. We got to discuss the elephant in the room with the Detroit Red Wings, the worst team arguably in all of sports right now.
All right, so I'm going to bring up right now, bringing up on my phone their current record as of this season, which would most likely be the end of their season because normal it's looking like it's going to be playoffs if hockey resumes. So we got games played 71. Do you want to guess the record at all? Like how many wins you think?
I took a glance at their
Oh, you
their
did?
stats a little bit earlier, but give for the heck of it, go with a team that's in fourth place in their division right now. Just give their record or at least their wins.
Their wins 17 games.
That's just
So they're 17, 49, and 5 overtime losses. Ooh.
hey, just throwing this out here. Two of those regular no, two of their regulation wins. Yeah, two of their regulation wins have come against the defending Eastern Conference champion Boston Bruins. I'm just putting that out there. It shows that hockey, like baseball, is a sport where anything can happen at any given time. And just because you're the best, the Bruins are right now the best team in hockey, record points wise, but they're losing to the worst team in hockey. It just goes to show you anything's possible. It doesn't matter. You could be great today, but you might not have a great game, and all you got to do is make one bad play, and the game's over.
Right. I mean, you're just looking. If you look at, the players they have right now, obviously they're young, like other teams, such as the Hurricanes. The Kings at one point, a season or two ago, had the most youngest players, if not still. Um,
Right.
but they still have good play. I mean, you look at the players they have that have come up the last couple of seasons. Dylan Larkin. Uh,
Well,
they had
yeah,
Athanasiou before he got traded, and he was a good player. I don't know why they let him go, to be honest.
assets. I think they got a couple draft picks for him.
I mean, we'll have to see how that works too, because obviously, if the NHL does end up resuming, we'll have to see when that draft would be pushed back until. Because I remember you said yesterday about the possibility of that happening in the season following this year being pushed back.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
What we're saying there is that the NHL basically said there's a chance that they might push back or delay the start of the 2020-2021 season because they want to they want to get the playoffs done this year because nobody wants to see the Boston Bruins win another Stanley Cup.
I
Because
guess.
current NHL rules dictate the team that comes with the most points through where we're at.
How about I reword this?
Defaults.
How about I reword this? Nobody wants any team that's won the cup in the last 5 to 10 seasons. Put it that way.
Nobody wants the city of Boston to win another
Okay,
championship,
sir. Let's get back to our
other
topic
than
about the Red
people
Wings.
in Boston. That's opinion right there. Nobody wants the city of Boston to win yet another championship. Unless you live in Boston, nobody wants it. But before I go on a Boston rant, because it's bound to happen at some
Kind of a
point.
Dead Wings video, sir.
Let's just go back to the Red Wings and discuss them. The garbage
But
that is the
it's
Detroit.
kind of crazy,
Detroit.
like, because I remember Up until so they won the cup in 2008, and after that they were still making the playoffs all the way up until like 2013 or 2014, I think it was.
I think it was longer than that, even.
All right, maybe
Because
even
then,
16 or 17. I don't remember, but and then they started getting this drought, and I'm like, oh my god, because they had made the playoffs for like 15 or 17 seasons straight, and they had that was like one of the records or something.
I think they set the record.
I think it was 17 seasons. I'd have to look it up, but it was something around there. And then, of course, with the whole thing, they got rid of Babcock and the other guy that they'd gotten. I think it was Mike Yeo or some other guy. They got rid of him too, and now they have some complete.
Well,
I think he's another
part of the
guy.
problem is, like you had mentioned before, they have a lot of young players, but they have a lot of old guys too. Like they threw money at players that they shouldn't have and signed them to long-term no trade clauses. Like what's his name? Franz Nielsen. They never should have signed him to that contract that they gave him.
I can't believe he
I
still
think they're
plays.
overpaying. Um,
Did
are they still? Go ahead.
how much is Bertuzzi getting paid? I haven't seen that because he's only been in this thing for like 2 or 3 seasons, I think, with the Red Wings themselves.
I'm gonna look that one
I'd
up
have to look
quickly.
up some stuff, but
Oops, I misspelled Bertuzzi. That's fine. He's young. He's not gonna get paid a
oh no,
lot.
he's like our age, I'm pretty sure, if not even younger, maybe.
He's a couple years on us. He's 25, so.
2 years, it's not much, but
He only signed. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. So he's actually a free agent after this season. So, getting to
interesting.
what I was trying, going at before, what the Red Wings are doing is they're throwing money at players that they shouldn't necessarily be giving money to, like Franz Nielsen, for example.
Right.
Let me pull up their roster real quick, and I'll point out the other guys. Because I know a couple of them are on like the long-term IR, I think, at this point.
But they do have a lot
Um,
of young players.
right.
I mean, their farm team, the Griffins, 2 or 3 seasons ago, they won the Calder Cup, which was huge for them. And then a majority of them, Bertuzzi, I'm pretty sure included, was one of those people that, if I'm wrong, I might be wrong, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was one of those people that came up through the farm league a couple of seasons, like a season or two after they had won the cup.
Trevor Daley is overpaid.
He's old. He was on the Penguins when they won the cup and stuff.
Hey, he's been around for a while.
Zetterberg's retired, I'm pretty sure, right? The
Yeah, Zetterberg
Applicator
retired
is
after last season.
Applicator is
He's still on
still
the
on.
team.
Jimmy Howard
He's
is
still on.
getting old.
Speaking of Jimmy Howard, I got his stats for this past season.
Oh
He played
God.
in 27 games, okay? How
Yeah.
many wins do you think he has in 27 games?
10, if I had to guess.
Try lower. Lower than 10.
5.
Lower than 5.
3?
He's got 2 wins. He's
In
2
27
wins.
starts?
In 27 starts, 2 wins,
Oh my God.
23 losses, and 2 overtime losses.
Who's their other goalie?
Uh, Jonathan Bernier.
Oh, okay, it is Bernier. Okay. Yeah, Bernier is practically
So
better. I don't know why they're not putting Bernier.
Jimmy, he is. He's like he's got
Well, he's
14
playing the
more
other
starts.
20 or 30
Sorry,
games.
he's got 20 more starts. So Howard has a, believe it or not, 420 save percentage. No comment on that. Or sorry, goals against average. 420 goals against
That is
average.
terrible. That
with a
is
save
terrible.
percentage, with a save percentage of 882. So it's not exactly good. Like, I don't compare that to Bernier, who's got, a 2.95 goals against average, which is not horrible given the team he's on. And, a save percentage north of 900 at 907. That's not horrible. Obviously, Bernier's not the problem with this team. He's not the best player, he's not the savior or anything like that, because he's up there in age. I know he's in his 30s, because he's been around for a little bit too.
Yo,
But he's at least not the problem.
so Johan Franzen is 40 years old. He hasn't played since the 2016 season, and he won the cup with the Red Wings in '08. That's how long he's been on the team. Can you believe
I
that?
think there's a guy who's been on the team I gotta pull him
And he's
up
still
real
his salary is
quick.
still $5 million as of 4 or 5 years ago. That's my
Do they still
ass.
have? Yeah, it's right. Jimmy Howard, he's just on the team for nostalgia reasons. Yeah, they still
Danny
have
DeKaiser.
Jonathan Erickson. Erickson's been on the team since '02.
Oh, I'm trying to find him. Oh my God.
How much is he
He's
getting paid?
36. He's getting 4 million as of 3 years ago or 3 seasons ago. But it's freaking ridiculous. But I mean, at the moment, it just seems like, especially this past season, the season before, they were just getting all these worn down players that they didn't need.
No, that's what the Red Wings were doing. They were going around, and rather than investing in the youth, they were signing all these older players because they kept trying to compete for the Stanley Cup that they never had a chance to get in recent years.
It almost sounds like they were the. Remember the Blue Jackets last year when they got all those players? It's
The
like they
Blue
were trying to
Jackets
make
at
a
least
cup
had a
run.
shot.
Yeah, but I know that's what I'm saying. It's like the Red Wings got all these players, but they're not even near a playoff spot. So why would they?
Well, what it was is they were trying to get these players and relive their glory days. That was their goal. They wanted to
That's
go back
ridiculous.
into what they were doing and existing and going and hopefully winning another, making another big playoff run. But they're giving these guys these like 4-year contracts, like Franz Nielsen. He got a fat contract. I forget exactly what it was.
Dude, like another player that's still on the team for a while, Darren Helm.
Oh yeah,
He was
oh yeah.
drafted in 2005, 132nd overall by the Red Wings.
Franz
Like,
Nielsen got. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that's crazy how long he's been on the team.
No, like Nielsen right now. So he signed. This is just insane to me. He signed a 6-year. How much would you pay Franz Nielsen? All right,
A
effective
year
20 before the 2016 season. Like, what would you pay him for a 6-year deal?
for 6 years, maybe $15 million,
What do you think Detroit paid him?
30.
31.5
Oh my
million
God, you're kidding
dollars.
me. It's
So
ridiculous.
he's still getting paid. Next year,
And
he's only getting paid
that was
5 mil.
before he got that concussion and everything, though, right?
Yep.
And
He's
now
getting
it's
paid
like,
five
oh, he's
mil
still in
next year,
contract
3 mil the next.
for
So
doing nothing, not even stepping on the ice.
he's not even that good. I mean,
Not anymore. No, definitely
sorry,
not.
no, his cap hit's actually going to be 5.25 million each year.
And the
Okay,
thing
did they shoot
is,
that on my tires?
freaking. Well, the problem is all these old veterans are playing with people like Larkin, Bertuzzi, and stuff that are a lot younger. It's like, how are they
There's
supposed
no
to?
chemistry.
There isn't gonna be any chemistry. That's the thing. Yeah, the guy
These
that's 40
guys
years
are
old,
old veterans.
the oldest player, which I think is Franzen, is 40 years old. The youngest player, which I'm pretty sure.
Not including call-ups, I'm guessing. Like those
I'm just
random
looking on the
1 week.
current active roster, is like in their early 20s, maybe 23 or 24ish. I mean, that's a solid 15-year difference at least,
You
averaging.
get, there's a chance that the guy could tell you exactly what he was doing when, like, the older guy can tell you exactly what he was doing in the day the younger guy was born. Like,
The younger guy was in preschool, pretty much, literally.
the younger guy's in preschool, the older guy's making his NHL
Guy was
debut.
about to get,
Like,
yeah, when the guy was born, practically. That's ridiculous. To just even think about that.
it's insane.
I mean,
It's just like, wow. That's where
some
we're at
teams you
right
can,
now.
some teams, honestly, you can argue that older and younger veteran and rookie presence actually works. Like if you're looking at like teams,
Philadelphia,
Philadelphia. I was gonna
Carolina,
say the Avalanche.
Boston,
You look at Cale
Colorado.
McCarr, fresh out of college, playing with some people that have been in the NHL for at least 5 seasons.
Well, I mean, yeah, him.
Like,
Look at Boston. They have a lot of young kids that they keep calling up, and they're doing great right now. Again, Carolina, Justin Williams is doing so much for that team. But
Yeah.
yeah, in Philadelphia, since I mentioned them, I'm gonna have to get back into it. I mentioned them. They've had a lot of young kids that are calling up, and Joel Farabee working with Claude Giroux is just doing wonders. Sean Couturier, in particular, is doing wonders for him. Detroit, though, they got their veterans that are set in their way. That's the problem. These guys don't necessarily want to teach them. They don't care. They're cashing in for the fat paycheck. They don't care how the team does. They have no reason to care how the team does. Why do they care?
It's
They're
true.
getting their money, and they already have their chance in glory, and they gave it up for money. For the record, Bernier has one shutout on the season. Just putting that out there. I don't know who the one team that got shut out by the Red Wings was this year, but I feel
Wasn't it like
bad
the
for him.
Bruins or Hurricanes? I forget who it was. It was a decent team. I know that for a fact. I'm pretty sure. Unless it was the Senators. It could have been the Senators too.
The
Because Senators
Senators, the
aren't.
Senators are just, I
They
don't
might
even
be
know what to
another
say.
video to be
This is
honest. Because
Detroit. We got to stay on Detroit, man.
that is true. We keep
But
veering off. Their lack of potential lets us veer off into all these other topics.
no, seriously. Like right now, I just pulled up their schedule because I'm gonna glance and see what it was. It's disgusting seeing postponed, postponed, postponed.
I mean,
It hurts.
they should be lucky. Their season is getting saved from getting an NHL record for like the worst
You're not
record.
wrong, man.
It's true. Like pretty sure they were on track to have like the worst wins of any modern sports team in a modern era, if not in
It's
history.
horrible. That's just horrible.
But all right. So the biggest question now, I mean, there's much
Sharks.
more.
They shut out the Sharks. They shut out the Sharks on December 31st. It was in Detroit, though. So, I mean, that's at least that. You didn't get shut out. You didn't get shut out on at home to the freaking Red Wings. I wouldn't even know what to say to that.
So now
But,
to kind of like conclude this video or wind it down. The biggest question now is, my God, this
what the
guy's.
heck happened to Dylan Larkin? That's my question.
Oh yeah, that's
Has he
one.
given
But
up?
I was gonna say down the road, like next year, what are your expectations? I mean,
Oh,
we have to see how the draft goes. That's the problem.
I don't even think, even if the draft lottery goes with them getting that top guy there, I don't know his name. Because I don't follow the draft until we're almost there.
But do you think they'll at least not finish in last place?
It depends on free agency because, like we
Bertuzzi.
saw, Bertuzzi's a free agent after this season. And it doesn't matter if the season ends today. It doesn't matter if the season ends in the middle of June. He's still a free agent. So, if
You would
they
think
lose
they would
him,
sign him
he's
again.
good.
No,
But
you'd
do they
think
have
would
the
sign him.
cap space? And
They
I
gotta
think
get
they're better
rid-
off
why
at
the
this
heck
point
is
letting
Franz?
Jimmy Howard go. Because
I thought they would have let Howard go 2 seasons ago.
should have
Like,
let
I don't-
Howard go about 20
I don't-
years ago.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. The guy's like what, in his mid 30s to late 30s? He's got to be like 37 or 38.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when we went to see them play against Buffalo,
He was in goal. He was
Howard
in goal.
in net, right?
Yeah, he was in net. Yeah,
Still-
against the Buffalo. Hey,
He
don't you
didn't,
remember Buffalo?
Buffalo's-
See, the Red Wings did somehow win 6-2. I remember that. But
That's because
Buffalo-
Buffalo's Buffalo, man. They're known for choking.
Buffalo
too.
scored on Howard within the first 5 minutes of the game. You remember that when the
I
guy
do,
came
I
in
do.
on the near side and just slipped it past over his pad or whatever
Howard's-
under his arm.
Howard shouldn't be allowing goals like that. Howard shouldn't be in goal. I'm sorry.
I mean, he could,
Look, could I do any better? No. Heck no. Heck no.
but it's just clearly
But,
it's just a sign clearly that he's worn out.
He's
And
worn
he needs
out.
to either
like,
be sent down to the minors to finish his career off,
a
or
la Corey Schneider.
just don't re-sign him or anything or whatever.
Let him walk. Whenever he hits free agency, just let him go. Let him retire. Give him a one-day send-off and say, have a good career. Have a good rest of your life, man. Thank you for the good days, but past is the past for living in the present. Sorry, bud. But Dylan Larkin, I want to get back to him. You think he's... he looked so bad this year, relatively speaking to how he was projected to do and all that. Do you think...
I
he's
think-
given up,
Well,
or
look
you
at
think he's...
Look how decent and good he was in the beginning, right? Yeah, he had a crappy season last year. This year, he completely blew the tire. I think he's not a one-man show like McDavid or
Right,
Ovechkin
right.
being a goal scorer. I think within the next 2 to 3 seasons, with all these veterans leaving, Howard, Franz, and all these other people, when they eventually get out, when they get new guys in, I'm pretty sure, like Aho did when he was drafted back in 2015, 3 seasons later. I mean, it's not gonna be 3 seasons for Larkin, obviously, but
Right, right.
a couple seasons later, with the right age group, he'll perform a lot better and get back to being a good goal scorer and points maker and stuff. I don't think
I'm
it's
at the
over. Is what I'm saying.
I'm at the point where I think Larkin's got something going on. I think it's similar to something like the Yips there, where he's just so used to losing and not
I
being
just think he's in a
good that
slump.
he's in a slump. He's in a season-long slump, and I think at this point his career isn't going to be what it could have been. I don't think he has a chance to be like, at one point you could have told me he looks like he's a potential future Hall of Famer. Looks like a potential future Hall of Famer, but at this point, no. I think he's just going to be a good role player, like a second line. He's a center, right? Second line center at this point. Best case. I don't think he can be a leader anymore. I think some of these veterans probably spooked him so much that he
He's got
has
so
no
much.
interest in doing
So
it.
so as of last year or the year before, his salary was 5.75 million. He's 23 years old.
Yeah,
15th
but
overall and 24. I think he's still, honestly, I just think so. Let's say so he's 23 now. If by 25, 26, the Red Wings haven't made it back in the playoffs, or he hasn't shown any bounce back or anything, then I'm gonna be like, all right, maybe this guy is actually gonna end
I
up.
don't want to say the term bust, but
I mean, it
a
sounds
couple
like it.
years down the road, And listen, I do like Dylan Larkin, but I just don't think it's working out anymore. And of course, I'm not giving up on him. I'm no Mike Milbury trading away good players just because they have a down half season. But you know, Dylan Larkin's just I don't know. I mean, the sad thing is he led his team in points. Do you know how many points he had in 71 games this season?
Don't tell me it's like 30 something.
No, no,
I don't know how
53.
many. Okay.
And he had minus 21 plus minus, which I mean, and a team like this, that's not horrible.
So you said that was 53 overall, right?
Sorry?
53 overall points, right?
Yeah, 53 overall
Okay, so
points.
he was probably
19 goals,
projected to be
34
like
assists.
60 something or something like that.
Yeah,
Something like
I would
that.
say so.
Around
Something
there.
in the 60s.
Maybe break 70
He
if
had
he had a good
14
night.
power play points. So
That's not terrible though. For being the last place in the league for him, that's not terrible. But that is
I'll give him
definitely
that.
compare that to his first 2 seasons with the Red Wings.
The sad thing is nobody on that team is a positive plus minus, which again, you're last
I mean,
place
you're
in the
best
league.
in the league. Yeah.
Unexpected.
Do you have any other
Anyone?
last thoughts on this Red Wings
Um, if we're
franchise?
being real here, I think the Red Wings need an actual enforcer on their team.
Hey, all right.
I think someone like Tom Wilson. Of course, Washington's not letting Wilson go, but someone like Tom Wilson who can fight and score needs to be on this type of team. And they need to get younger. They need to let these veterans go. They need to get rid of Jimmy Howard instantly. They need to get rid of Danny Keiser. They got to get rid of. How's Mantha doing? Anthony Mantha.
He's all right.
He was hurt, right, for a chunk of the season.
Briefly, I'm pretty sure, but he was
Trevor
fine.
Daly. Trevor Daly needs to go too.
Trevor Dale needs to go.
He's
Howard needs
done.
to go.
Franz Nielsen needs to go. He's a bum at this point too. I don't want to say bum, but he's a bum at this point. They gotta get a whole new core. They gotta make some moves in free agency. But Detroit, man, just I don't know what to say about them. They stink. Frankly, it's a shame. They stink. They fell off a cliff. They tried to keep their contending window open longer than it should have been. And some teams, they realize, hey, look, we're not going to be good for the next couple of years. That's fine. But Detroit said, well, we want to be good for the next couple of years. Who cares about the future?
It's true.
It's crazy.
I mean, the one positive in the last couple of seasons, in my opinion, was that they brought back Steve Yzerman as the
That's the
GM.
only thing that you can say that's good about what they've done.
Recently, yeah. I mean,
drafting Dylan Larkin, but that was a little while ago at this point. Even
Advice
I mean,
going forward.
I don't know how great their young prospects are because I don't follow the AHL as much as I used to. But I don't think they're going to be that great. They haven't been getting luck in the lottery. I know that much. But
Surprisingly.
The thing with throwing contracts at veterans is you don't get to rebuild. You're stuck in this perennial state of I'm bad, but not bad enough to get a top 5 pick. But what am I going to do with the 12th overall pick? I'm going to get a guy that's going to be in the WHL for 3 seasons before coming over. So Detroit needs to tank, and that's what they're doing finally.
Yep. No, they got a rebound. They got a rebound now.
In the Atlantic, I don't think it's going to happen quickly.
No, that's their one problem. If they were in like the West,
Put them
they
anywhere in
might
the
have a
West,
chance of
they'll
be finishing above the Kings.
The Kings, the Ducks, hey, they'd have a chance over finishing. They'd have a chance of finishing better than some teams in the West, but not this year. This year they stink. This year they're just awful. I don't know what their plans are for the future, but they need to figure out some stuff fast. If they want to keep their fan base, they have to figure out what they're doing.
Oh, they'll always have their fan base with all that history. They will always have their fan base. I'll tell you that. But
I don't know, man. Ottawa doesn't really have a fan base right now. Montreal doesn't have a big fan base. They're losing fans.
Montreal is slowly the fans. But out of those 3 teams, Detroit has more history. Well, Detroit and Montreal. Ottawa doesn't have. Ottawa, I don't know what the heck. They have so many management problems, but that's another video to talk about.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, did you have anything else to add about Detroit?
Other than that, I mean, to be honest, I want to see him as a good team. I'm kind of getting sick of seeing him finishing the bottom of the league the last 3 or 4 seasons.
I mean, if all I gotta say to you is, if you're a Detroit fan, I feel bad for you. Detroit, I don't know if you saw this, but Detroit set a record for, as a city, for most losses in a single season for their 4 teams, or like worst winning percentage, because the Lions didn't do that good. Granted, they beat my Eagles, but that's different. The Lions didn't have a good season. The Tigers had themselves the 2nd worst season in baseball. The Red Wings, obviously, at this point, had a horrible season.
You're talking about all the losses combined?
Yeah, they set a record.
Who had the record before that, I wonder?
That I don't know. Honestly, it probably would have been someone like, maybe Chicago, because Chicago is
before the Cubs
waves.
won the World Series.
Well, Chicago, the thing with Chicago is all their teams are good at the same time, but and stink at the same time.
I mean, you can say the same thing about Boston.
No, Boston's different. Boston usually has waves, like one team stinks. Philly's usually 2 teams stink, 2 teams good. New York's usually, 2 teams are good, 2 teams stink. So, but yeah, I mean, Detroit has some work to be doing, and
I'm just trying to finish
Detroit.
Up. Go ahead.
Detroit stinks. Simply put.
I just gotta kill one more guy, then I'll end this video. I'm in the middle of a gang attack.
I saw you started a gang attack.
It's 20 people.
What the heck is that thing?
Alright, yeah, but to conclude it, yeah, I would just say they have a lot of work to do. More than the Senators had to do before, to be honest, in my opinion. But,
more than any team has had to do in the NHL in our lives.
Yep. So we'll end this video on a sour note because they suck.
You want a sour note? I'll give one to you.
I mean, they might call it Hockey Town, but right now it's Dead Wings Town, so.
Right now it's the city of bankruptcy in the wind department.
We can call it the city of the Big L. instead of what they call Dallas is the Big D. Called the Big L.
That's bad.